Welcome back to the channel, Top Coin, where we dig deep into the stories hidden in your pockets. Today, we're about to uncover a fascinating journey of one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. You guessed it, the legendary 1982 United States 1-cent coin. And trust me, this tiny copper beauty could be worth a whole lot more than just a single cent. Stick around because you might be sitting on a mini fortune without even knowing it. All right, let's dive right in. The year 1982 was a turning point in the history of the American penny. Up until this moment, pennies were traditionally made primarily from copper. Each coin was about 95% copper and 5% zinc. Copper was abundant and affordable, but times were changing. The price of copper was rising rapidly, and it reached a point where the metal inside a penny was actually worth more than the face value of the coin itself. Imagine that. A 1-cent coin costing more than a cent to produce. That's bad business. So, in response, the United States Mint had to make a critical decision. They needed to find a way to save money. And in 1982, they rolled out a major change. Midway through the year, the composition of the penny switched. Instead of being mostly copper, the new pennies were made with a core of cheaper zinc and just a thin outer layer of copper. This change might sound minor, but for collectors and coin lovers, it was monumental. But here's where it gets really interesting. 1982 was a transitional year. That means both types of pennies, the heavy copper ones and the lighter zinc ones, were minted at the same time. Not only that, but the U.S. Mint also produced several varieties in 1982. There are small dates, large dates, copper compositions, zinc compositions. It's a beautiful, chaotic mixture. Imagine being a worker at the Mint during that hectic year. New dies were being tested. New blanks were being used. Mistakes happened. Experiments happened. And what was left behind is a collector's paradise. 8 major varieties of the 1982 penny exist. Yes, you heard that right, 8. Some of them are common, and some are extremely rare. And if you can find the right one, you could be looking at hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So, how can you tell if your 1982 penny is worth big bucks? First, you need to know whether it's copper or zinc. Here's a simple trick. Grab a regular kitchen scale. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. A zinc penny is lighter, about 2.5 grams. Second, check the style of the date. Is it a small date or a large date? Small date varieties are harder to find and generally more valuable. Combine the right weight and the right date style, and you could be sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. But wait, there's a real legend among 1982 pennies. A true unicorn in the world of coin collecting. I'm talking about the 1982 D small date copper penny. The Denver Mint was supposed to only produce zinc pennies when using the small date dies. Yet somehow, a very small number of copper coins slipped through the cracks. And if you find one of these extremely rare coins, you might be holding a piece worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, in a public auction, one 1982 D small date copper penny sold for over $18,000. That's right, a 1-cent coin turning into more than $18,000. That's the kind of jackpot stories we dream about. Now, you might be wondering, what is the current market value of 1982 pennies today? Let's break it down. Common 1982 pennies that are still in circulation usually have modest value. Maybe a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition. Uncirculated examples, coins that have never been used and are still in perfect mint state, can fetch between $5 to $50 or even more. Proof coins, which are special coins made with extra care and a mirror-like finish, are even more desirable. But the rare varieties? The small dates? The copper transition coins, those can easily bring in hundreds, even thousands depending on rarity, grade, and demand. Collectors pay top dollar for coins that are graded highly by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A perfectly graded MS 67 1982 small date copper penny can command prices beyond most people's imagination. So if you ever find a 1982 penny, especially with a small date, do yourself a favor, get it weighed, get it checked, and get it graded. You could have a hidden treasure. And here's the fun part. 1982 pennies are everywhere. They're hiding in old piggy banks, in your grandparents' coin jars, maybe even in your car's cup holder. You don't need a metal detector or an archaeological dig. You just need a good eye, a little patience, and a basic kitchen scale. So, next time you get change at the grocery store or sort through some old coins, pay close attention. That little penny could be your ticket to an incredible discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the amazing story of the 1982 penny, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting stories, and ring that bell so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, happy hunting. And may your pockets be full of hidden riches. If you have a 2001-cent coin from the United States, you might be sitting on a little treasure. That is right, a single penny, a tiny copper coin, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on a few special details. So stay tuned because today we are uncovering the history, the rare varieties, and the true market value of the 2000 United States 1-cent coin. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2001-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front side. This design by Victor David Brenner has been an American classic since it was first introduced back in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 2000 version continues this proud tradition. On the reverse or back side of the coin, you will find the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now here's where it gets really interesting. In the year 2000, the United States Mint produced Lincoln cents at 3 different locations. Coins minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark. Those minted in Denver bear a small D mint mark, and those minted in San Francisco are generally proof coins made specially for collectors and show an S mint mark. But not all pennies are created equal, my friends. Some of these 2000 pennies have rare varieties and errors that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for. One of the most famous varieties of the 2000 Lincoln cent is the 2000 wide AM reverse. Yes, you heard that right, the wide AM variety. Normally on standard 2000 pennies, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are almost touching, but on the wide AM variety, the letters are clearly separated. This variety happened because some proof coin dies, which were meant for collector coins, were accidentally used in regular circulation production. These mistakes are super rare and collectors absolutely go wild for them. So how rare is the 2000 wide AM penny? Estimates suggest that only a few thousand exist among the hundreds of millions of pennies produced that year. This makes finding one a pretty exciting event. If you spot one, even in circulated condition, it could fetch anywhere from $150 to over $500. If you have one in nearly perfect mint state condition, it could be worth over $1,000 or even more at auction. But that is not all. Other valuable error coins from the year 2000 include off-center strikes, double dies where the design appears doubled, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. For instance, a penny that should have been copper-plated zinc could accidentally be struck on a dime blank, creating a weird and highly collectible error. Such mistakes are worth hundreds, sometimes thousands, depending on their condition and rarity. Now, let's get into the history a little deeper because it adds so much flavor to why these coins are so cherished. Around the year 2000, the Mint was preparing for major design changes. The new millennium brought about a renewed interest in modern coinage. The public was excited, collectors were energized, and coin shows were buzzing with activity. It was a transitional period where even minor mistakes became historically significant because they represented a bridge between the 20th and 21st centuries. Every time you hold a 2000 penny, you are not just holding a piece of copper and zinc, you are holding a little piece of American history, a witness to the dawn of a new millennium, a tiny artifact from an era that saw the explosion of the internet, new global challenges, and incredible technological advancements. Now, if you are wondering about the current market value of these coins in 2025, here is the latest update. A regular 2000 penny in circulated condition is generally worth face value, just 1 cent. However, a 2000 wide AM penny can command anywhere from $150 to $300 in circulated grades. Mint state examples, meaning coins with minimal wear, can sell between $500 and $1,000. If graded by top companies like PCGS or NGC and scoring very high, such as MS67 or better, prices have reached over $2,500 at auctions. Even normal 2000 pennies in pristine, untouched, red mint condition can be valuable to collectors looking to complete their sets. A flawless 2000 D or 2000 no mint mark penny can still be worth around $5 to $15 or more if it is absolutely perfect. And let's not forget the proof coins. The 2000 S-proof pennies, especially those designated as deep cameo, can be worth around $5 to $10 a piece, depending on condition and demand. Not a fortune, But still a nice little bonus if you happen to have one tucked away in a drawer somewhere. So how can you check if you have a valuable 2000 penny? It's simple but requires a sharp eye. First, examine the back of the coin carefully. Look closely at the word America. If the A and M are clearly separated, congratulations, you might have the wide AM variety. Secondly, look for any unusual features like doubling, missing parts of the design, or off-center strikes. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe really helps here. It is also smart to weigh your coins. A normal 2000 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs significantly different, it could be a wrong planchet error, which is very valuable. Before you rush off to cash in your coins, remember this. Having your coin authenticated and graded by a reputable third-party service can dramatically increase its market value. Serious collectors and buyers prefer coins that have been officially graded because it guarantees the authenticity and condition of the coin. So there you have it. The humble 2000 United States 1-cent coin is more than just spare change. It carries a story, a legacy, and for some lucky people, a surprising amount of money. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about coins rattling around in your pockets, checking your 2000 pennies could literally pay off. Make sure you like this video if you learned something new today. Subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin facts and hidden treasures, and smash that bell icon so you never miss an exciting update. Let me know in the comments below if you have ever found a rare penny, or if you're going to start checking your coins today. Who knows? Your fortune might just be hiding in plain sight. Today, we are about to take a deep dive into the incredible story behind the 2004 United States 1-cent coin, uncover its hidden secrets, explore its rich history, and reveal why collectors and investors alike are willing to pay a small fortune for certain versions of this everyday coin. First, let's talk about where it all began. The United States penny has a long, rich history, dating back to 1793. Over the centuries, it has seen numerous changes in design and material, and even in its symbolic importance to American culture. But today, our focus zooms into the year 2004, a year that might seem ordinary at first glance, but for coin collectors, it holds something truly extraordinary. In 2004, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the Lincoln cent, the same design featuring the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front of the coin. Lincoln had been featured on the penny since 1909. In honor of his 100th birthday, making it one of the most enduring designs in American coinage history. The reverse of the 2004 penny proudly displays the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design that had been introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The 2004 Lincoln cent was struck in two main locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver proudly bear a tiny D underneath the date. There are also coins minted as proofs in San Francisco, marked by an S. These proof coins were made with extraordinary care, using special dies and polished blanks, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. But here is where things get really interesting. Among the millions of pennies minted in 2004, a few were struck with errors or unusual variations, and these rare pieces are worth far more than just a single cent. In fact, some error coins from 2004 have been sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. One of the most sought-after varieties from 2004 is the double die error. This error occurs during the minting process when a coin is struck by a die that has been engraved with a slightly misaligned design, resulting in a doubling of the image or lettering. Collectors go crazy for double die coins because they are extremely rare, fascinating to study, and incredibly valuable. Imagine finding a penny with doubled letters on the word Liberty or on the date 2004. Depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling, such a coin could fetch anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Now, the condition of your 2004 penny plays a crucial role in its value. Coin collectors use a system called grading to describe a coin's state of preservation. A coin graded MS-70, that's mint state 70, is flawless under magnification and commands the highest premiums. Even a coin graded MS-65 or MS-66 can be worth significantly more than face value, especially if it has vibrant luster and sharp details. An ordinary 2004 Lincoln penny in heavily circulated condition is usually worth just a few cents. But if you have a 2004 penny in brilliant, uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare proof version or an error coin, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Let's talk numbers. Currently, A high-grade 2004 Lincoln Cent without any errors might be worth between $5 and $30 depending on its mint state grade. However, proof coins, those mirror-like beauties from San Francisco, can be worth $10 to $50 and even more if graded highly. Now here's where it gets exciting. A 2004 penny with major doubling, a significant mint error, or dramatic off-center strikes could sell for $100, $500, or even over $1,000 in a hot market. Coin collectors and dealers alike emphasize that certain 2004 pennies with distinct errors are highly desirable right now. The numismatic market is booming, and rare varieties are fetching premium prices at major auctions and online marketplaces like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Stacksbowers. Wondering if you might have a treasure in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar? Here's what you should do. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look carefully at the date, the lettering, and Lincoln's profile. Look for signs of doubling, any off-center designs, or unusual textures. And remember, pristine, shiny coins with no scratches or wear are especially valuable. So, the next time you spot a penny on the ground or you sift through your spare change, remember this. It could be much more than just a cent. It could be a piece of American history, a rare treasure, and maybe, just maybe, a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining us today on this exciting journey through the world of the 2004 United States 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting secrets, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And hey, if you find an amazing 2004 penny, let us know in the comments. Happy hunting, and may your pockets always be full of hidden gems. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2005 United States 1-cent coin. Now, before you toss that penny aside thinking it is just another ordinary coin, let me tell you something. Some of these 2005 pennies are worth way more than 1 cent. In fact, some rare varieties could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So make sure you stay tuned because by the end of this video, you might just realize you have a hidden fortune sitting in your pocket or piggy bank. Let's first rewind the clock back to 2005. The United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln Cents that year. They made them at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins have no mint mark. Denver Mint coins bear a little D mark under the date, and San Francisco produced special proof coins with an S mint mark coins that are absolutely gorgeous, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted devices. But not all 2005 pennies are created equal. Some are hiding secrets that only the trained eye can spot. First, let's talk about the Philadelphia and Denver business strike coins. These were minted for everyday circulation. You probably have a few lying around right now. However, among these common pennies, some rare varieties have been discovered, and that is where the story gets really interesting. One of the most sought-after types is the 2005 double die penny. Double dies happen when a coin die is impressed twice at slightly different angles, creating a dramatic, visible doubling on the finished coins. For the 2005 penny, collectors especially look for strong doubling on the inscriptions, like the word Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date itself. These errors are highly collectible, and depending on the strength of the doubling and the condition of the coin, they can fetch serious money. Some high-grade examples of double-die 2005 pennies have sold for over $500. And it doesn't stop there. If you happen to find a 2005 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, a coin that looks like it just came out of the mint, you are looking at a small jackpot. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher can command huge premiums. In fact, a 2005 D penny graded MS68 read by PCGS sold for a jaw-dropping $720 at auction. Yes, a 1-cent coin, $720. But why are these coins so valuable? The answer lies in supply and demand. While billions were minted, finding one in perfect condition is incredibly rare because pennies are generally thrown into pockets, dropped on floors, or stored in jars where they get scratched and worn quickly. A near-perfect coin is a true survivor. Now, let's not forget the special 2005 as proof coins. These were never intended for circulation. They were sold to collectors in proof sets. Featuring a beautiful mirror-like background and frosted raised designs, these coins are miniature works of art. While proof coins are generally less rare because collectors preserve them carefully, flawless examples graded PR70, the absolute highest grade, can still be worth up to $50 or more. Not bad for a penny. However, a word of caution. There are also coins that might look rare but are not. Machine doubling, where the die shifts slightly during striking, can create a similar appearance to true double die coins but without the same value. Always be sure to have your coin authenticated by a trusted grading service if you think you have a rare one. Alright, so what about the current market value as of today? Let's break it down. A regular circulated 2005 penny? Still worth face value. 1 cent. A brilliant uncirculated 2005 D or 2005 P penny, MS65 condition? Worth around $5 to $1.15. A near-perfect MS67 coin? We are talking $100 to $250. A certified MS68 penny? That can leap up to $500, sometimes even more depending on demand. Special proof coins from San Francisco? Around $10 to $50 depending on condition. A rare double die 2005 penny? Could fetch between $150 to over $500 based on its strength and condition. And the best part? You do not need to spend a dime to hunt for these treasures. Check your pocket change. Dig into those old jars at home. Ask your relatives if they have penny collections gathering dust. You might just stumble upon one of these rare gems and turn a single cent into a life-changing find. So, what are you waiting for? Go check those pennies. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 2005 1-cent coin and want to learn more about hidden treasures that might be lurking around you, smash that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into serious cash. Until next time, happy hunting and keep chasing those treasures. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American history that you might just have sitting quietly in your pocket, in your drawer, or hiding at the bottom of an old coin jar, the 2007 United States 1-cent coin. You might be wondering, how could a small copper-colored coin, minted not so long ago, be worth far more than just 1 cent? Stick around, because you're about to discover the hidden secrets, the rich history, the rare varieties, and the incredible market values that make the 2007 penny one of the most intriguing coins of modern times. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1-cent coin we are talking about today features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage for over a century. Fast forward to 2007, and the design still proudly carries the classic Lincoln portrait on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, a tribute not only to Lincoln himself, but to the enduring ideals of freedom and unity that he championed. But what makes the 2007 penny so special? At first glance, it seems like just another everyday coin. Yet, beneath the surface lies a world of numismatic excitement. You see, not all 2007 pennies are created equal. There are small differences, tiny errors, and minting anomalies that can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. First, let's talk about composition. In 1982, the United States Mint transitioned the penny from 95% copper to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper plating. By 2007, pennies were being struck on these zinc planchets, but sometimes mistakes happen at the mint. There are extremely rare instances where a 2007 penny might have been accidentally struck on an older copper planchet. A regular 2007 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but a copper one would weigh around 3.11 grams. If you have a 2007 penny that feels heavier, you might be holding a major rarity worth hundreds, possibly even thousands of dollars. Next, there are the famous mint errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks can make a huge difference. Some 2007 pennies exhibit doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's features. Even a slight doubling can increase the coin's value dramatically. Off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned during minting, are another highly sought-after error. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Imagine finding a 2007 penny where Lincoln's portrait is only partially visible. That could be worth a small fortune. The 2007 pennies were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver coins are marked with a small D under the date. Collectors often seek high-grade examples from each mint, especially in uncirculated condition. Finding a flawless 2007 penny, graded MS67 or higher by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, can significantly raise its value. Some top-grade 2007 D pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction. Now let's talk about the real excitement, the market value. Most 2007 pennies in circulated condition are still worth 1 cent. But certain varieties, rare errors, and pristine examples fetch a lot more. High-grade 2007 pennies, especially with beautiful red luster and no blemishes, can sell for anywhere between $20 to over $100. A stunning MS-68 example could even command $200 or more from eager collectors. Rare error coins, depending on the type and severity, have sold for prices ranging from $50 to several $100s. An off-center strike that shows only part of the design can fetch $200 or more. A dramatic double die might be valued between $100 and $500 depending on visibility and overall coin condition. So, how can you tell if your 2007 penny is valuable? Here's what to look for. First, weigh the coin. If it weighs around 3.1 grams, it might be struck on a copper planchet. Second, examine the date and lettering carefully under a magnifying glass for any signs of doubling. Third, check if the coin is off-center, missing parts of the design, or has other noticeable minting errors. Fourth, assess the condition. Coins with full original red color, no scratches, and sharp details are much more valuable. And if you think you have something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service. A certified grade can greatly boost a coin's market appeal and sale price. The 2007 United States 1 cent coin is proof that treasures are not always hidden in ancient tombs or pirate chests. Sometimes, they're right there in your change jar, just waiting for a keen eye to discover them. Next time you handle a handful of pennies, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of American history, a rare variety, or a hidden gem worth much more than you ever imagined. Remember, every coin has a story. And the story of the 2007 penny is still being written, one collector at a time. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 2007 1 cent coin. If you enjoyed this journey and want to learn more about hidden treasures, rare coins, and incredible finds, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, happy hunting. And may the next coin you find be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure.